Hi, nice to have you all here. Summer is almost over, and we are meeting here for our third quarter CI Hub connector update information. We have used the summer very heavily, and we've built a gazillion of nice features, and some of them we would love to highlight today. To do so, I have Gerd with me. Hello, Gerd.
Hi, everyone.
So we've prepared the highlights, and we would like to show you a little bit about how they work and what we have in mind with them. Let's just start in there. As you may all know, Adobe is working hard to make the Apple Silicon M1 available to all their programs. And that means they have to do a lot of changes on the core product. One of the important things is within the last release, the CEP implementation is updated to a version 11. And version 11 requires all of you on our integrations to support CORS. CORS is a security feature for cross-site scripting. And we will also support that now. Some cases it can happen that you will receive a network error. Then it would be great if you just connect to your integration vendor and talk with them about their course compatibility. It's just an easy thing. I would say 90% of all our integrations are already compatible. So if you get a network error, just talk to support about that. That's one general thing. And then let's start with the new features in Dropbox. As we get lots of requests from companies working with low-res and with high-res assets, they would love to see that option also in the Dropbox. The development team made a huge effort and implemented the ability that within all of the programs, except InDesign, you can now select different rendition types in different sizes to be used within your layouts or layers. And this is a really cool feature, because if you have an original file with, let's say, 50 megabytes, you can just place an asset for layout purposes that's just 2 megabytes in size, and that makes your processes really efficient. But good, I'm pretty sure you have a couple of more things to say about that. I think that's a pretty cool feature, right?
Yeah, that's it. Because I think the renditions, that's a real cool thing to replace a low res with high res or vice versa. As you see on the screenshot on the right corner, the bottom, you can replace linked assets with conversions. And so it's really easy to switch between high res and low res for the whole document. That's a cool stuff.
But I think we didn't stop there. I think there is another use case which is very powerful with that, right?
Exactly. So now it's possible to use Illustrator files or Photoshop files or PDF files in the Office applications. So if you want to place Illustrator files in PowerPoint or in Word, you only had two options. That means ask your graphic designer to save the Illustrator file as a PNG, or use the CI Hub connector. And the other stuff, PSD files also working right now with the renditions, so you can use them in PowerPoint. But I think there's a short video if you click on it.
Absolutely. Here's that video. So
Yeah.
I think we're in PowerPoint right now.
This is PowerPoint. And if you click on the screen, the video should start. So as you can see, I'm using an Photoshop file, use a rendition, click on OK, and the Photoshop file is converted into a JPEG, and you can place it in your PowerPoint layout. The same works for Illustrator files. This is an Illustrator file. Just use a PNG to get a better result for the fonts.
That's pretty cool.
And you can place it. And it's also possible to use large files such as templates you've created in Illustrator, use the PNG resolution, place them in your PowerPoint layout, and you get a really cool template.
That's cool. And that's all using the built-in Dropbox features for the rendition. So there's nothing what you need to do in your Dropbox. Just upload your assets, use the CI HUB connector, and then you have access to all of these different renditions and the high-res and the low-res files. Pretty simple, right?
Yeah, that's it.
Cool.
Really easy to handle, yeah. This is something you can use in Illustrator with your renditions. I've prepared a video where you can see how the file size increases. Just click on the video. Yep. So as you can see, I've prepared an Illustrator document and I placed an image. On the bottom, you see that's only 224 kilobytes. So if I start placing images, I just clip them to have a better view of what I'm doing. So we have 2 images in there. And if I click on save, you will see that the file size increases. And now we have 61 megabyte Illustrator document. And yeah, that's not the one we want to have. So if I click on the renditions, just watch the file size, it goes down to 16 megabytes. And it's really easy, one click switch between low res and high res files. So now I'm back to high res for printing, 61 megabyte, go back to low res. And then we have 16 megabytes. And you can use single images and use separate renditions. I would say this one with 640, and you see the file size goes down.
It's even without losing any kind of quality, right? So if I do my layouting, yeah, it's really, I don't lose anything if I use a smaller rendition, right?
Yeah, you lose nothing if you're working for web or for online stuff. You can use the renditions. If you start layouting, use the low-res renditions, and your Illustrator works quite fast. And at the end, if you want to do a print, just replace them with a high resolution, and that's it.
Very cool. Just a click. It's already released, so everyone who has an active Dropbox connection can use that functionality already. Very cool.
Yep.
So what's next? This is something where we got lots of questions from, especially from users who are using lots of files in their assets. As you know, we are supporting a drag and drop functionality, so you can drag and drop your asset from the CI HUB panel into your layout. And before it was the way that if you drag an asset and then you said, I would like to drag, let's say, a low-res version from that, then you would click on low-res, you would drag it into your layout, and then actually it would switch back to the original version, and then you had to select it for the next asset again and again. Now we are remembering what you want to have, and that stays in the same way for all drag and drop as long as that rendition type is available. Do we have a video here too?
No, this is the 2 screenshots at the bottom. This is how the tooltip settings are working. So if you uncheck the tooltip setting, which means it's not hidden, and the right screenshot on the bottom right corner, if you hover those icons, you see the selected conversion.
Yeah. What we actually do to make it easier for all of the users is if you select, let's say, a JPEG 248 by 1536, then it gives you immediately the information if that rendition is available across all of the visible assets here in the view. So you immediately know if there is the same resolution available, then you have selected for your drag and drop operation. So that comes quite handy if you're working with lots of assets and you want to work quite quick. So you don't have to worry about placing assets in different rendition types or so. Yeah, so very handy. Okay.
Yeah.
What do we have next, Gerd?
The next thing is if you receive an InDesign document and you see that there are embedded assets in it. So it would be nice to have them in your source system, in your DAM or your Dropbox, wherever. So if you click on the video,
I will start it.
you can see, if I have a look at the link panel, you see that there is one embedded image. So if I want to have this image in my DAM or in my Dropbox, you just click on the plus button and this embedded image will be uploaded automatically in your chosen system.
I think before we had that option, you had to download that asset to your local drive and then upload it again from your local drive into your system, right?
Exactly, exactly.
Okay, so that looks real handy and a little bit quicker to do it right from the document you're in, right?
Yeah, and you can see it's directly available in the source system, and it's automatically linked from the source system into your InDesign document.
Very nice. And this is implemented in InDesign and in Photoshop.
Exactly.
Cool. Good. What's next? This is one I really like. The Unsplash integration is ready to go. So you now can access the stock media from Unsplash. Just go there, create your account, and as soon as you have an account, you can set a link from the CI HUB connector to the Unsplash system, and then you can enjoy really amazing images and videos and all of that stuff free to use within your application. It's really, really nice enhancement.
And the search is working perfect, and the filters are really working perfect.
So we're supporting, I think we're supporting all the functionalities you see from Adobe Stock, Getty Images, or Shutterstock, right?
Exactly.
Okay, very cool. Good. I think this is a very, very special one, but very handy if you're producing magazines or brochures. Do we have a video there?
No, this is not a video. This is just a screenshot because, it's if you're working with chapters, mostly used in books. So you have page numbers that are not correctly working, but now it's you have the ability to see if the chapter begins with page 16, you see the linked asset is used in page 16 and not in page 1, because this would be the normal page number if it's the first page in the segment. But right now, if you work with chapters, we take the pagination of the chapter, and that's what you can see here. Yeah.
Very, very nice. Okay. Open InDesign is now the default setting in InDesign. Oh yeah, that was a huge request from lots of people. If you're clicking on an InDesign file in the CI HUB connector result view, then it was before that the place and link option was the default value.
Exactly.
And that always created some extra work because you clicked on it and you were expecting that InDesign document will be opened, but it wasn't open, it was placed. So now we're going a little bit more context sensitive. So if we see there is an InDesign file selected, then open in InDesign is the default value. You just click and it's opened. And that's the same in Photoshop. So if we have a Photoshop file, then it is not the place and link, the default option, but open in Photoshop is the default option. Again, that makes it a little bit easier to quickly work with the system.
Mm-hmm.
Good.
This one is, if you click on the right-hand side on the video, you will see that we have the ability to switch between content language spaces So you can choose what metadata fields are displayed, if it's here German or in English or whatever language is in your source system. You can switch between languages and use the metadata fields for your layout.
Yeah, this is actually a complete new function. We didn't have that before. Before you really had to select, or the selection was automatically done actually based on the language settings of your program. Now you can really select that. If you're connected to a PIM system and you want to create a German and an English brochure, in that case for a bicycle, then you now can drag and drop the German text, and you switch to your English language space and drag and drop the English text for that. So that's getting really, it gets much better, and it's completely dynamic. Whatever languages are available to you in that integration, you will see all of them as a drop down. Nice.
Yep.
Okay. This is something what is really getting a lot of traction within customers. As you know, we have a very simple database publishing functionality built into the CI HUB connector. So you can just go, actually you just select whatever asset you want. You click on CSV export. It takes a couple of seconds. We create a CSV file including all the links to the assets. Then you open data merge, and you can immediately start creating dynamic pages from the selected content. And this is now also available within the Sharedian system. The Sharedian system is a premium integration, so that is available to all of their users, which is really cool. And that feature will come over the next couple of months to all premium integrations. Nice. Just go back. Let me just go back with that. There is actually, I want to give you that hint, there's actually a really cool feature video on YouTube and on our website about the capabilities on data merge and the CI HUB serial production support. Just check that out, because there's really a lot of power in that small functionality. And we're actually planning to try to get that into other programs, make that available also there. So that's something that's a really nice automation delivered to all of the users. Really
Yeah,
cool.
I think you can do really crazy things. It's not about only printing. It's also working for social media posts, where you can really individualize, create maybe 60 posts within several products. But I've included that in the video. It's really crazy.
Yeah. This one is a nice one. Imagine you have a large InDesign document and you are using, let's say, a logo over different frames or different pages, and you want to change the old logo against the new logo. Now we have a very handy function that you can not just say replace. Replace would always replace an asset in a selected frame, but with replace all, you can now replace all assets regardless of where they are in the document with one click. And I think we have prepared a video for that.
Yeah. So what I want to do is replace the CI HUB logo, which is in red, with a white one. So I'm just selecting one of the logos, what I'm doing here in InDesign, and I want to replace it with the white one. Just click on replace all, click on OK, and that's it. So as you can see, it's on page 1, and if I switch over to page 2, it's replaced.
On page 2. Yeah, that was a very nice. Support call from a customer. They produce large catalogs, and they have that situation always that they are using certain images across the whole catalog, and to find that image and replace it manually, that was always a challenge. Now it's just a click. I like that. Yeah. Really nice. Just to remind you, Some of these features are only available to a full version of the CI HUB connector. So don't wonder if you have a limited edition, then that feature is not released there, but you can easily talk to the sales guys or to your integration partner, and then we can manage to find a solution for that. Okay. Ooh, Gerd, I love that feature.
Yeah, so that's a really cool feature. So sometimes when you're producing stuff and you get images from external people, in this example, we have two images which are named pool. This is something what mostly happens if you're doing touristic stuff. You receive images with just the name pool.jpg. And what happens if you use them? There's always the thing that you overwrite one with the other, or it's not correctly linked, or all this stuff. So right now with the feature enable same file names, you can use the same file names for your production. Doesn't matter where they come from. They are all working fine.
We had actually one customer, and that company works for hotels, and they are producing one catalog for 15 different hotels, and they have a really nice DAM system which allows them to have different assets with the same name, but when it came to the production, then everybody had the last imported pool in their hotel. Because they're all having the same name, and if it's overwriting that, then this can happen. For us, it's really important that with the CI HUB connector, you have the full control. You can enable that functionality, which is actually the default value, or you can disable that function, and then actually all of the assets will be stored in your selected target folder. And we will do a specific video on how to work with local and downloaded assets later this month, because there's actually a lot of things you can use within that download folder to make your work a lot easier, especially if you receive files from customers that are not in your system already. There's a couple of things you really can do. Also, I like to give you the hint. We have lots of discussion also with customers asking us, why do you download assets and others are not doing that? Especially the other connector from Silicon is always saying that they are only working with URL links and they are not downloading assets. That's just not the case. If you're working with an Adobe product, and it doesn't matter if it's in InDesign or Photoshop or Premiere Pro, the assets need to be local so the program can work with them. The biggest difference between the CI HUB connector and all of the others is we make that transparent, and we give you as a user the full transparency and the control of what exactly happens. That actually gives you a lot of control, which can be used to make processes much easier than they were before, but you have to know all of that. So watch out, there will be an Academy video explaining more of the capabilities of our download options. Okay. Also, we are really happy. Imageshop is also live this month. So we have collaborated with Imageshop together and have built an integration into their system. It's really amazing. Check out that system, and in our connection menu you will now find the Imageshop integration. Very, very cool. Okay, as this is a session which we've recorded between Gerd and me, I don't know if there are questions. Good. You have questions?
Not from my side.
Okay. I've tested all of the products already, so I don't have much more questions.
Okay.
But if you have any questions, then it would be amazing. You can write something here down in the link if you want. we will answer that, regardless if you see that video on the CI HUB page or if you see it on YouTube. Write a comment, tell us if you like things like that, and then we're happy to produce more. Or if you have really specific questions, just send an email to support@cihub.com. We will answer that as fast as we can. Okay, I think that were, we hope, 10-15 interesting minutes. Everything what we showed you is live, so whenever you start your CI HUB connector, all of these functionalities are available to you. Again, if you have questions, let us know. Gerd, really thank you for doing that session with me.
My pleasure.
Very cool. And we see us for the next update. Bye-bye.
That's it. Bye-bye.